Images is the expression images speak louder than words, or pictures speak louder than words?
There's a phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been a picture speaks louder than words.
I don't know. Actions. Oh, gee.
Actions speak louder than words.
Actions speak louder than words. Whoa, that was tough. We haven't even introduced what sonnet we're going to do tonight.
You pulled it out, though.
I pulled it out, but how did I get myself into that situation in the first place?
Sometimes you find yourself in a pickle.
What speaks louder than words? It was last week we spoke about Jeopardy. So I would say this speaks louder than words. What are actions? But I could see if somebody said, what are images? I wouldn't be that mad at them. I'd be like, well, it's a fast-paced game. You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Maybe he just got confused. But before we introduce the sonnet, I'd like to make a correction from last week. Remember our famous corrections segment?
Yeah.
There was that one week where I said that Cal Ripken Jr. wasn't the great offensive player that others have been, and then I looked and I was like, oh, no, wait, 431 home runs. No, this guy's big time.
Yeah, he was.
Last week, we were talking about Midnight in Paris, and you said, was it nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah, and I think you said it was King's Speech won over Midnight in Paris.
That is the mistake. So Midnight in Paris came out in 2011. So I decided, well, let me just look up the Academy Awards from 2011 and see what won Best Picture. You see which mistake is coming here?
Oh, yeah, because it depends on when it was nominated versus when it actually released, right?
Yeah, so the 2011 Academy Awards recognized the films from 2010.
Yes.
So King's Speech came out in 2010, so it won the Best Picture in 2011. Midnight in Paris was released in 2011, so it lost in 2012 to The Artist. Another thing that we didn't say last week, when you and I were talking about which sonnet we were going to do, and it was Sonnet 32, and I said, oh, it's the Magic Johnson sonnet, because he was number 32. When we started recording the podcast, we talked about Magic Johnson, but we never told the audience, hey, it's because Magic Johnson was number 32. So some people know that. Maybe some people got it in context, and for other people, we were just calling it we just said it a couple of times, Magic Johnson, and for some people, maybe it made no sense, and we apologize.
That does sound funny in retrospect. It's like,
Yep.
You hear 32 and you just kind of think Magic Johnson.
Well, I do.
Did they retire that number?
Yes.
So no other team can use it, or just no other person on the Lakers can
No
use
other
it?
person on the Lakers. The only player to have a number retired across an entire sport is number 42, which we talked about recently.
Jackie Robinson?
Yes.
Yeah. I wonder if there's... I could imagine NASCAR possibly retiring...
Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s number.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that NASCAR did that. I don't know. I think he was number 3, or maybe Dale Earnhardt Jr. I don't know. Why am I claiming to know anything about NASCAR? I don't. But I think one of them might be number 3. Okay, so there is going to be some sort of trivia question here, maybe. NASCAR numbers. No, it's just are other numbers retired across entire sports? Yeah,
that's a pretty specific question. It's something that I wonder if many people would be interested in, but I am interested in it, so we'll figure it out.
I have never once thought, I wonder if the audience will be interested in this trivia question. That is a very good thing to think. All right. Good point, Mike. Let's start thinking about the audience from time to time.
Every now and again.
All right. But in the meantime, we're going to ignore the audience, and we're going to pay close attention to Shakespeare as he gives us his 33rd sonnet called Sonnet 33. All right. Do you have it pulled up?
I've got it up here. I'm at Shakespeare's-sonnets.com.
And I'm at Shakespeare-online.com.
Sonnet 33. Full many a glorious morning have I seen flatter the mountain tops with sovereign eye, kissing with golden face the meadows green, gilding pale streams with heavenly alchemy. Anon permit the basest clouds to ride with ugly wrack on his celestial face, and from the forlorn world his visage hide, stealing unseen to west with this disgrace. Even so my sun one early morn did shine, with all triumphant splendor on my brow, but out, alack, he was but 1 hour mine, the region cloud hath masked him from me now. Yet him for this my love no whit disdaineth. Sons of the world may stain when heaven's sun staineth.
I think this is a first. I think this is the first time I've had absolutely no idea what a poem's been about.
Oh, God. I'm like half relieved that I'm not the only one, but then I'm terrified now because neither one of us has a clue.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm just going to do my initial reaction thoughts, even though I've got very little to go on from what I was reading. It felt a little bit like, I don't know, I just remember talking about clouds and the sun a lot. So maybe it's got some themes of something hiding the sun, like clouds hiding the sun or something like that.
It's like you're trying to explain an accident to a police officer. Like, I just remember I saw the clouds and the sun, and I was just, all of a sudden I was turned, and I think something was over there, behind that one thing over there. I think there was something over there.
Yeah. Oh, and then I saw that guy rob that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the guy with the green hat with the...
Took his wallet right out of his back pocket. Kicked him in the back of the knee and ran.
He was like, it was a leather-stitched wallet.
And then there was just like clouds all in the sky. It's just a beat poet explaining. All right, that's a great
best witness ever.
Hey, what did you see? Well, here's the thing. It was a cool morning. I felt the crisp air glance off my cheek. I breathed in the world, and I was whole. And then that guy over there, the guy in the green hat, he hit that guy in the back of the head with a pipe, took the wallet.
It was a lead pipe. Looked like it was about 3/4 inch, triple jointed.
It was 10:54. He was wearing a brown collared shirt that was untucked, black slacks, black shoes. Okay. Full many a glorious morning have I seen flatter the mountaintops with sovereign eye. Full glorious morning, a nice, beautiful sunrise flatters the mountaintops with its sovereign eye, so the sun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, oh, what a beautiful morning. This is the beginning of Oklahoma.
So, flatter, not as in, like, become flat, but flatter as in, like, oh, I'm flattering you.
Makes it better. Makes it look even better. See those mountaintops? Look at the glorious morning flattering them.
Man, just that, like, sentence alone, it's just a nice way to say, oh, the sunshine hit the mountains.
Yeah, the rooster went cock-a-doodle-doo, and the sun went in the sky.
Okay,
Kissing with golden face the meadows green, gilding pale streams with heavenly alchemy. More, just look at the sun making the world beautiful.
Yeah. Any hidden meaning in any of that? Kissing with golden face the meadows green.
Maybe it's the birth of somebody or somebody becoming an adult, but I don't know. Right now I'm just taking him at his word that he's describing the morning until he leads me otherwise.
Gilding pale streams with heavenly alchemy. That sounds so amazing. I want to be in this world. I guess we kind of are. It's just all depends on how you look at it.
I don't want there to be too much gold in the water, though. I want it to be very watery. Like when I jump in the stream, I don't want to be like, I feel like there's a lot of gold that's just on my body right now.
Molten gold.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to be hot. I don't want it to get stuck to my skin for various reasons. Anon permit the basest cloud to ride with ugly rack on his celestial face. Let the clouds come in, if it must. Anon.
Can I look up anon?
Yeah.
A-N-O-N. Soon or shortly. So I'll see you anon.
All right, let's go ahead and permit the basest cloud to ride with ugly rack on the celestial face. Let a whole bunch of clouds kind of come in at once that are like rain clouds, bad clouds. And why is he saying that?
Yeah.
And from the forlorn world with his visage hide, stealing unseen to west with this disgrace. Oh, is he saying now just go to the west, get out of here?
And from the forlorn world his visage hide.
He sees how beautiful...
I think the
world.
clowns... Or he's still talking about the clouds.
Yeah, so it's going to leave this world. Is it because it's so beautiful? Stealing unseen to west with this disgrace?
I'm not sure. What I kind of see is he's saying, in the first quatrain, the sun's so beautiful. When it rises, all the sun hitting the mountaintops, going in the water, it's all beautiful. Then, pretty soon, nasty clouds come in, and they block the sun out.
Okay. And from the forlorn world, his visage hide, the sun. Hide the sun's face. Because I think visage is face.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Stealing unseen to west with this disgrace. So the sun goes away. The sun sets in the west.
Do you have a colon at the end of that line?
Yes, I do.
So what does that mean? He's about to list something?
That's what we said a little while ago, and I think we were right. But let's just see what that is. Let's see what the next thing is.
Okay, let's just move on from that line. Yeah. We'll come back to it, though.
Even so, my sun one early morn did shine, with all triumph splendor on my brow. But out, alack, he was but 1 hour mine. The region cloud hath masked him from me now.
Okay, I think now I know what he's saying in the earlier line where he says, stealing unseen to west with this disgrace.
Uh-huh.
I think when the clouds come in, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So the sun moves and sets in the west without really letting us see him because he's covered by the clouds.
It's like if a friend came to your city where you lived and they were here for a week and you didn't hang out with them once. You didn't even believe they were there. Like you couldn't see your friend there.
Yeah.
So the sun, you came over, you were here, you were in the neighborhood all day and you didn't stop by once to say hi? Is that really what we're like now, son? You don't even stop in to say hi for more than an hour? How dare you?
Okay, so that's just what I think stealing unseen to the west with this disgrace means. But he does have the colon at the end of that, so he's about to actually list the disgrace, right? Not list, but...
Even so, well, yeah, this is the disgrace. But it seems like now he's saying something else, like, but even though that cloud's there, the sun did come out one morning and shine triumphantly on my face, and I could feel the sun. But then, guess what? He was only here for about an hour.
Yeah.
The region could have masked him from me now. The region cloud hath masked him. So there's this one cloud that just takes the sun away from me. Yet him from this my love no whit disdaineth.
I'm not mad at him. I ain't mad.
Sons of the world may stain when heaven's sun staineth. And that's sun, S-U-N. To the listeners not following online or in print.
Sons of the world may stain when heaven's sun staineth. What does that mean?
All right. Yet the sun from this, my love. Wow. We're going to have to really think here.
It's all in this last couplet here.
Mm-hmm.
Yet him for this my love no whit disdaineth. Do you think that just means, even though I was only really able to enjoy him for 1 hour, I'm not upset at him?
Can we, I wonder if we're allowed to look up what no wit means. Because I think that's an expression that I've heard that I don't really know what it means.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Hold on, let's see. No wit. If wit is used as a noun,
yes,
it means the smallest part or particle imaginable. It's similar to an iota.
So I do not, yet him from this, my love, I don't disdain.
Yeah, like not even a tiny bit.
Not even a little bit. I have
my
no.
love.
So like when you said, I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
And then Because here's like the statement: "Sons of the world may stain when heaven's sun staineth." What's sons of the world?
And what's heaven's sun? I think we need to figure those two things out.
Yeah.
Okay, so heaven's sun is just...
So there's the physical sun in our universe, and then there's the ideal sun in heaven, because obviously if there is a heaven, it's not just going to use the sun in our solar system. It's going to have some sort... Not that Shakespeare knew any of this. I'm just talking out loud here.
Here, let me look up the word stain.
Okay.
I think it might have some weird meaning that... or I'm hoping it has a weird meaning that I don't know of. To leave a mark, marked or damaged, use special liquid to change color. Or to suffuse with color, bring discredit on. Like the scandal stained his reputation.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think one thing we need to start doing is saying that, okay, we for as long as we could, we were just saying that he was talking directly about the sun. And I was like, I'm not going to guess who he's talking about until he tells me who he guessed. Well, I got confused and I couldn't figure out when he switched. But one thing's for sure, he's not just talking about the sun. He's talking about the fair youth, correct?
Yes.
He's always talking about the fair youth. So let's just start applying this to a person, and I think it'll be a lot easier than if we're trying to figure out when it's the sun.
Okay.
All right?
I think so. That's a good idea. Good plan of attack.
Yeah, because we got nothing right now. This is the first time where we got to the very end and we're like, well, we never really got a hold of it. Full many a glorious morning have I seen flatter the mountaintops with sovereign eye, kissing with golden face the meadows green, gilding pale streams with heavenly alchemy. So a person who's making the world better everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Anon permit the basest cloud to ride with ugly rack on his celestial face, and from the forlorn world his visage hide, stealing unseen to west with this disgrace. Is he going to get sick, or is something going to happen to him that's going to take him away from the world?
Well, he says, with an ugly rack on his celestial face. What's ugly rack?
Well, the basest clouds to ride... If it was actually a cloud in a sky, if it's just one cloud, it's no big deal, but if they're coming together, clumped together...
So, okay, I'm looking up rack here. It says rack is a wind-driven mass of high, often broken clouds.
So if a bunch of things, I don't know, is his face going to get ugly somehow? Is his face going to get disfigured? And from the forlorn world his visage hide. At that point, he's just hiding his face from the world. Stealing to the west with this This is Shakespeare. This is such a mess. Shakespeare's teacher should have told him to fix this one.
He's got his love who's there, and then I'm wondering if this has something to do with an experience Shakespeare had in real life. Like, if you love somebody and then he could only see them for 1 hour at a time.
Yeah, or is the 1 hour hyperbole for, 5 years? Like, it seems 1 hour in a day. If life is 1 day, it's like the sun was only up for an hour.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
If you could only experience somebody for that period of time. And if life is a day, so if we get nothing else from the sonnet, I think maybe he's saying that if life is 1 day, the amount of time that this great thing was happening, that the sun was out, was only for about an hour. So an hour in 1 day equals however many years to your life.
Rereading it a little bit, it could be that, or he could really just be talking about 1 day. What was like, you're so beautiful, and I get to see you, or anybody who gets to see you is having a good day. But
1 hour? Well, yeah, but just there's something keeping him apart from the fair youth. So yes, it doesn't have to be the 1 hour in a lifetime situation. It could just be, hey, You know what kills me? You know what's burning me up inside? This past few months, I get to see maybe 1 hour a day? It's been terrible. I've just been sitting around writing poems that will endure for generations because I don't actually get to see you. 1 hour a day, that's nothing. Yet him from this, my love no whit disdaineth.
So because I'm only able to see the sun, for that 1 hour, I'm not even one bit less in love.
Yeah, I don't hold this against the sun. Sons of the world may stain. So we're having a tough time with stain. So let's just pick one meaning. Is the sun dying me somehow?
I don't see the sun's dying.
No, dying me with changing my color.
Oh. I thought you said, is the sun dying somehow?
Is the sun dying? Did Shakespeare predict the death of the sun?
You liked how nice I was about that?
Not bad. But
I don't think so.
It's not what I'm getting. Seriously, though, let's read this again thinking that the sun is going supernova and that Shakespeare's predicting it.
Sons of the world may stain when heaven's
when they go
sun
supernova.
Staineth.
When the Lord decides that the sun is going to go supernova. Sons of the world. So, sons of the world, that's the fair youth. You can stain when you are blessed by something deep. Oh my gosh, I just don't know.
Oh, maybe okay. Maybe it's... So beautiful people of the world are able to be more beautiful when the sun is shining on them.
Okay, yes.
How about that?
Whew, I think that's nice. That's something. So, you are a beacon of energy in this world, a beautiful thing that can bring life to everything that it touches. But you are locked away in that castle for 23 hours a day. And you get to come out for 1 hour a day, and that's not enough life that you're bringing to the world. Because you can bring that change to the world if the sun can bring you out. But just as long as you're up in that apartment, binge watching The Wire and Dexter, then you're never going to come out and do what you're supposed to do. So don't binge watch The Wire. That's what Sonnet 33 is about. No binge watching. 1 episode a week. 2 episodes a week. Fine. Not a season a day. What madness is this? Who decided that we should start doing this? Shakespeare says no. The sun is stealing people. The sun is being blocked. And it's by Orange is the New Black. And it's by Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead. It's by Game of Thrones. Man. You know what? I feel fine now. We may not have gotten it, but at least we came up with a very compelling false one. You bailed me out this week, man. I had nothing going.
I think we just took a shot. We took a swing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that we got it, but I thought this was going to be the first week we were like, well, we're going to go look up an answer because we don't even have an incorrect answer. We have nothing. At least now we could say, well, we weren't right. Actually, the sun was going supernova the whole time. Scott was right. The sun is dying.
Yeah, I think you got a point that, it does feel good that we came up with a theory. That's how hard some of these are. Just being able to describe a theory of what you think it might say, that in and of itself is a victory here.
Let me tell you how nervous I was. There was a moment where I was looking at your face on the screen. I wasn't even looking at the poem anymore. And you know what was going in through my head? How much I wanted to eat a cookie. That's all I was thinking about. I had a cookie about an hour ago, and I was like, I'd like another one right now. That would make me feel better. And
that's how little you were investing into this poem.
Because I was so lost.
Because it was worthless to invest anything at all.
And then my next thought was, I think we should cancel this podcast. My very next thing was like, well, maybe it's time that we stop doing this. And now let me tell you something. Now that we came up with a theory, I'm not hungry.
Success in all its forms.
I still think we should cancel the podcast, but anyway, we'll come back with the experts' analysis of Sonnet 33 on Mike and Scott Read a Poem. We're back. I'd like to address the last line first. I found a couple of good paraphrases of that line that I'll share. This one first. If sun in heaven can be overcast, so can a sun below.
Ah.
So he loses the fair youth in this poem somehow. They have a falling out or something. It was very sad. So that happens. So he only got to have this guy for a while. So it actually was, I think, the first meeting where it seemed like only an hour. Because it seemed like you were into me. I was really feeling it. I'm writing you these poems. I'm having these feelings for you. And it seems like they were reciprocated. But then maybe something happens and Shakespeare feels like, this guy is not, he's not the love that I thought he was. And he's saying, but I guess I understand. I don't love him any less for it. These types of lapses can happen because if the sun up there can get clouds in front of it, then the same thing can happen to you. Metaphorical clouds.
Yes.
So that's what you found too?
Pretty much, yeah. I think I feel like we got pretty close, actually.
What did we say exactly?
At the end? About
Yes.
the end line?
Right.
We were thinking that sons of the world may stain, so that means that can only be beautiful when the sun's light is kind of shining on them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean...
That's not... Sure, that was nice. That was something.
It was something.
But what we were saying in the beginning was true, where you know how the sun comes up in the morning and it's beautiful? Well, I think that's what I felt like with you when I first started loving you.
Yeah.
So I started loving you, and it was like the sun coming up in the morning, and guess what? It wasn't all I thought it was going to be, and something bad happened. But, I still love you because, hey, if the one thing that's keeping our universe from tearing apart, or our galaxy, if the one thing that holds the galaxy together can have clouds in front of it, so can you.
Well said.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so I don't think we get a great grade. What do you give us?
I think our Achilles heel of this whole thing was the word stain at the end.
That was a tough word, yes.
Yeah, so it says, sons of the world may stain when heaven's sun staineth. I think we were thinking of stain in a positive sense, like, when you stain a nice wood finish
Yeah, it looks
on
good.
a coffee table.
You're being responsible.
Yeah, and when the sun shines on the earth, it's staining the earth with glorious sunshine, right? But no, I guess it's actually the negative type of form of the word stain.
There was one thing that I saw, one theory that staining was the youth passing on something bad.
Oh, okay.
Like whatever negative energy he's feeling from the youth, I guess,
Uh-huh.
maybe that's going to go on and stain the world. So now there's going to be offspring that have whatever flaw that you have. So this is interesting. Even at this point, I still don't fully understand it. And I guess rightfully so, because we spend not too long looking these up online. And I think I should just have instant, complete understanding of an entire sonnet that some people study for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's what we came up with. Not 100%. Oh, so what was did you get a letter grade?
Oh, on this one?
Yeah.
I think we got a C.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to go any higher than a B minus.
No, yeah, I think we got a C. Because we did not bad. We did average. We did what would be expected of us, I think.
Yes, I think when most people hear, hey, did you hear that Mike and Scott have a podcast? Most people would say, who's, and then the other person. Like if somebody said that with the people that I know, they would say, who's Mike? And the people that you know, they would say, well, who's Scott?
Mm-hmm.
But the second thing that they might think is, wow, these guys are interpreting Shakespearean sonnets. They probably get it very wrong every single week. Well, I gotta say, not to be cocky, but sometimes we don't. This week we kind of did. We got it wrong.
But we weren't that far off.
Well, hence the C.
Yeah, I mean, effort. We came with a strong effort.
Which I'm going to move up to a B minus anyway.
Nice. You're gonna scratch. You can add a little line and make the C look like a B.
Oh yeah, before I show my parents.
Yeah.
All right. So Mike is the report card that you really got. I'm the one that you adjusted before you brought to your parents.
Nice.
So now we look up trivia questions. If we don't have many NASCAR retired numbers, and are there any other numbers that are retired across an entire sport? That's all we could think of. So we'll be back with those trivia answers on Mike and Scott Read a Poem. Mike and Scott Read a Poem is back on the air.
We're back.
All right, that's going to be our new thing. Getting very excited when we're back.
Yeah.
League-wide retirements. Would you like to give the NASCAR one?
Yeah. So NASCAR has only ever had a single number officially retired, and that's number 61 for Richie Evans after he died in 1985. But there is one unofficially retired number 3, in honor of Dale Earnhardt Sr. after his death on the track in 2001. That was 2001.
So I did say number 3, so I called that.
You did. Good job.
Even though I did not get Richie Evans number 65. 65? 61.
61.
Jackie Robinson has his number retired across all of baseball, except for the players who were wearing it at the time, and it started in 1997. So Mariano Rivera from the Yankees had number 42.
Wow.
So he had it up until he retired last year in 2013. So he's
really?
Yeah, he played a long time. So he's the last player who will
so
wear
Jackie
42.
Robinson could have still been playing and just retired last year?
No, Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, I know, but they were the same age?
No. Playing at the time that the number was retired, which was 1997.
Oh, it was retired at 97.
Baseball wide. It was retired from the Dodgers, but it wasn't retired from baseball
I see.
until 1997.
I was like, that just blew my mind.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson. He's kind of famous for being the player that broke the color barrier. He's pretty famous for that, but he's really famous for having a 65-year baseball career and still putting up numbers. He was hitting
awesome would that be?
265 at the age of 74 years old. God, it was amazing. Nobody talks about. People really play up the whole, civil rights thing, but they need to really focus on the fact. No, Jackie Robinson did not play in 1997. So Mariano Rivera has left the building, so now nobody wears that number. What else do we look? Oh, there is somebody who has his number retired from an entire sport. That was your responsibility to know, and you didn't do it. Hockey is your domain, and Wayne Gretzky has his number retired for all of hockey.
Nice.
Just for being really good at it, I guess?
Yeah, like, I've heard stats of Wayne Gretzky is better at his sport than any other star athlete is, or ever has been in their own sports.
Wow. Yeah, I'm
He's
sure
like that much better than everyone else.
I think those few years where Tiger Woods was really good, that you can make an argument for that.
Oh yeah, maybe. I think I heard that phrase before Tiger Woods was around in the public spotlight.
Also because it's so much harder for a person to win in golfing. It's so much. Well, no, I mean it's really hard to win a Stanley Cup. Also, I didn't mean to say it. I'm just saying the amount that he did in the amount of time. It was statistically. Anyway, so that's Wayne Gretzky, and then one more notable. Retired number, which you wanted to point it out. What was it?
Number 48 has been retired by the University of Michigan.
Must be a football player. Must be somebody really good. What is it? Joe Montana? Is it Mean Joe Green?
Nope.
Is it? Okay. Oh, it's a basketball player. So it's
no, it was football. You had that
it's
right.
Football. Okay. So it's Barry Sanders. It's
former 38th president of the United States, Gerald Ford.
What? I thought it was a football. Well, it is a football.
He was a Michigan man?
He was a Michigan man? I thought he was from Ohio State. Oh, my goodness. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, does he deserve to have his number retired just for becoming the president?
Well,
that's a big deal, but your number retired's in a whole different realm.
I don't know how many presidents were college football players. I think the answer is one.
Maybe.
No. I think maybe George Bush Sr. played. I don't know. There might be others, but Gerald Ford is the only one I know for sure. So maybe we'll look that up next week. So this week, I told you the correct answer of last week's Oscars question. This week, I'm going with how many presidents were college football players at a major university. My answer is one. What's your answer?
I'm going to say 3. Football's been around since like 1900, right?
Early 1900s.
Yeah, I'll say at least 3.
Do you want to name them?
Teddy Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, and Gerald Ford.
Okay. Teddy Roosevelt, I think, is too old. Gerald Ford is wrong for so many reasons that it must be right. And Ronald Reagan?
Yeah. I have a feeling Reagan played football.
Okay. Well, he did play it in a movie, Win One for the Gipper.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
Well, you might be right. So next week, you got to tune in next week. Very special episode of Mike and Scott Read a Poem. Next week's episode, we're going to be telling you answers to trivia questions that we came up with this week.
Yay!
So if you fell in love with the old format of Mike and Scott Read a Poem, where we just answer trivia questions from this week, then, it was great, but you were only able to love it for about an hour because it's gone now. But you shouldn't think any less of Mike and Scott Read a Poem, because even if the sun in the sky can somehow change its output of sunlight, then so too can Mike and Scott Read a Poem change what we're all about. So answers to trivia questions and a whole lot more on next week's episode of Mike and Scott Read a Poem.
The concept of putting the word "un" in front of a word, like unseen, was just in this one. That concept was created by Shakespeare.
Oh, wow. Good for him, man.
It was first ever written down on paper, documented by being in plays and stuff.
I am not unimpressed.